fastest show in sports.
Have you had the opportunity yet to see the series Landman?
I have not.
I want you to find it. Billy Bob Thornton is they've done one season of it. Billy Bob, he plays a general manager of an oil company in Texas. And you have got to see this series. I mean, not only for the dynamic of it's written by Taylor Sheridan, the same guy who did Yellowstone, and I'm trying to think of the Sylvester Stallone series. Oh, Tulsa King. Tulsa King,
Yeah.
did that.
That's great. Sling Blade is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I've heard Billy Bob's a miserable, arrogant prick, but he's such a great actor, and I still remember Sling Blade. Do you remember this? Mm-hmm. All right, then. Carl, what are you thinking? You look so determined in thought. I'm thinking I want some more of these French fry potatoes.
Exactly, but if you want to see the dynamic between he and his ex-wife, some of the dialogue is brilliantly written, and I will tell you this: Billy Bob, maybe he's become that way, but many, many moons ago, he was in a Bad News Bears movie. And it came to Boston, and I got a chance to sit down and interview him. And it was one of the best things ever. It was I still have it somewhere, pieces of it. He was fun. It was about the same time the Red Sox had beaten the Cardinals in the World Series, and he's a Cardinals fan.
Yeah.
And we went at it, but it was a smile on his face. It was a great interview. I've been a fan of the guy since that moment. And so
it's always, things are always predicated on how your interaction with that person goes a lot, you know?
It really is.
You can see a person there was some guy that he was bullying in a Canadian interview once, and I thought, what a jerk. Like, the guy's just asking nice questions. But you know what? The guy might have set him off some weird way. And, you hate to throw that on some, I was just thinking today about something else. It had nothing to do with anything. But
you and I both know this as interviewers. A lot of times it's the questions you ask, how it's asked. And if you're just trying to dig for bullshit, which is what a lot of the interviewers do these days, they're just trying to dig for dirt. But if you just have a conversation with somebody and you don't dig into all the nonsense and the background idiocy, I mean, for most times, they're pretty good. It's like I interviewed Jimmy Fallon one time before Fallon became a star. And he, too, was in a baseball movie called Fever Pitch with Drew Barrymore. So I had a chance to interview Jimmy.
Well, he was already a star by then. He was on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, but he wasn't as big a star as he is now. It was before his Tonight Show days. Right. So
he seems like a regular guy. But I'm of the opinion you're right. Anybody that like Frank Isola of the New York Daily News, and now PTI, he does all kinds of stuff. We go back, and I remember all these journalists walking into the Knicks locker room one day, and they're all ready to ask Anthony Mason about some scrap he got into and everything. And the first thing Isola does is walks in and he looks at Oakley, and he goes, "Oh, did you see that girl across from the bench? I think she was looking at you." And she goes, "Oh, you talking about Rhonda? Oh, Rhonda's my girl." Like, and all of a sudden there was this human interaction, and Mason saw it, and he goes, "Oh, wow, the reporter's just trying to be a human to another guy in the club. He's not treating him like, he's in front of the White House cameras." And, as you know, all these, your best interviews are from developing personal relationships. The guys who gave me the best stuff and the real stuff that made stories were the people that trusted me to be a person before I was a reporter.
You and I both know that when it comes down to doing interviews with a famous athlete or a famous person, and usually in the locker room, it's broken down into a couple of different facets. When you have the gaggle that all gathers around the athlete and you want to get the interview, 9 times out of 10, you will always back off a little bit and let the reporter who knows, who's been there, who's the veteran, you let him or her ask the first question.
Right.
Break the ice, get it rolling, okay? And then you kind of have the second level, which is the nightly newscast people, the ones from the secondary newspapers who will then come in and try and follow up with a nice question that will get that will get them the story they want. And then you have that third layer sitting in the back, which for many years was these idiot talk show hosts who never attended a game, had no idea how to interview anybody, and they're in there trying to dig up some dirt right away and scream something at them. And by that time, you luckily have people like you and me and others who are at the front kind of going, turning around and going, you want to shut up, please?
Really?
You really?
Right.
Is that what you want to do? And that kind of sets a new tone. But you get all your good questions out in the first couple of minutes because you know the idiots are going to drop sooner or later.
Right. Or you're behind all those, or you're behind all those guys, and you wait for all the questions to be done and the performative art part of the interview to be over, and then you go up to the guy and go, all right, what really happened? Like, I can't tell you how many times I've doubled back and gotten stories because I just got the person on my own.
I can't tell you how many times I got in trouble with the standard veteran Boston sports guys for a lot of years when I first got there, because I would wait, or I would even ask the PR people, because we were doing a show at the time that was a nightly show, an hour show, and I used to go out and do interviews in the field and bring them back and say, here's a conversation with such and such, and we rolled the tape. And it was just him and me. A lot of times, and this didn't happen after games, this happened like at, I'll give you for instance, Terry Francona was named the manager of the Red Sox. Tito's a really great guy. And they brought him into the club, it was overlooking Fenway Park, and I asked the PR guy, I said, can I do a one-on-one with Terry for the show tonight? And he said, yeah, I don't see any reason why. Go ahead and do it. It's fine. I did the interview with Francona. I finished. I had a great interview with him. Great icebreaker. And when I got done, one of the veteran reporters came and pulled me aside and said, you're not supposed to do that. This is Boston. Now, I don't know where you came from, but there's an order here, and you have to stand in line like everybody else, because we don't do that.
See, hold on. Shaughnessy?
Wasn't Shaughnessy.
It was, no. Ron Borges. No.
It wasn't Ron Borges either, because Ron wasn't there. Shaughnessy.
It wasn't Bob Ryan. It wasn't Bob Ryan. It wasn't Bob Ryan. He's too nice a guy.
No, it was one of the TV
Come
guys.
on, give it well, who cares? They're not going to see this podcast. Who cares?
No, I'm trying to remember who it was at this point, and honest to God, I can't remember. It's been so many years, it's been over 20 years. But I can see his face. It was one of the TV guys. And the
Michael Holly.
The TV guys got all upset with me because I was doing something instead of getting a gangbang interview. And don't write me emails, everybody. That's what we called them for many years with the gangbang interviews. And
right. It's just a gaggle of people around.
I was the guy on the outside looking in.
It has nothing to do with Ed and I's porn collection. Go ahead.
Nothing. Not at all. Because I sold it all years ago. But because I was the new guy in town, there was a pecking order that I had to be part of. And I just said, well, I asked. And he said, go ahead. You can't do that. You know what? I was there 4 years. I did that with everybody. After that, F them. I went out and I did my interviews. They were like 5-6 minute interviews. We played them back unedited at night. Got us a tremendous audience and still made them angry with me. And I didn't care.
That's all, folks.